In Africa, the cradle of mankind's birth, powerful kingdoms rose, a story of worth. From ancient times to the Middle Age, a continent's tale, a captivating stage. With deserts hot, the Sahara stands tall, and Nile's great river through nations it does sprawl. A youth-filled land, the youngest population, diamonds and cocoa from its fertile foundation. Exemplary leaders, their legacy told. Nkrumah, Mandela, their spirits bold. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, her first female leader, so wise. From Liberia's democracy, where freedom lies. Aliko Dangote, an entrepreneur's might. Wealthiest in Africa, a beacon of light. With refinery brand, his vision so vast. A symbol of progress, an icon to last. Namlolwe and Nyanza, a freshwater gem, reflected the dreams of many a gem. A continent of superlatives, it's true, with vibrance and vigor, a future anew. If history has shown such stars of grace, in Africa's embrace, new legends will trace. Let courage and dreams unite as one for a brighter tomorrow where greatness is spun. In this beautiful, colorful, and friendly domain, greatness awaits where hopes shall not wane, where tales of triumph weave a tapestry. Welcome to Today in African History. He needs no introduction. It's not his birthday. The year was 1962. Nelson Mandela, the anti-apartheid activist, leader, lawyer, and future president of South Africa, was arrested while riding in a car to Johannesburg with Cecil Williams. His arrest and imprisonment would extend to 27 years and eventually cause many around the world to rally for his freedom and bring support for an apartheid-free South Africa. South Africa's most wanted man, Mr. Mandela, was arrested soon after returning from a 6-month clandestine trip through Africa and to London, where he garnered support for the African National Congress's armed wing. Umkhonto weSizwe, that's what the armed wing was called. He also received military training at Oujda in Morocco by Algerian freedom fighters and by Ethiopian forces outside Addis Ababa. At the end of his trip, he was collected in Botswana by fellow activist Cecil Williams. After Mandela reported on his trip to comrades in KwaZulu-Natal and was returning to Johannesburg on Sunday, the 5th of August 1962 with Williams, they were stopped by the police and Mr. Mandela was taken into custody. The charges related to him leaving the country without a passport in January 1962 and calling on workers to strike on the 29th, 30th and 31st of May 1961 against the proclamation of South Africa as a republic. This action followed 2 unanswered letters to Prime Minister H.F. Verwoerd, in which Mr. Mandela called on him to establish a non-racial national convention to draw up a new constitution for South Africa. So, in a nutshell, this was the day Nelson Mandela was imprisoned, and he was to stay imprisoned for 27 years. Next, on this day, this lady pictured here, her name is Hazel Winifred JohnsonBrown. Born on the 10th of October 1927, she sadly died on this day in 2011, was a nurse and educator who served in the United States Army from 1955 to 1983. In 1979, she became the first black female general in the United States Army and the first black chief of the United States Army Nurse Corps. She was also the director of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Nursing. Hazel Johnson was the first African American woman to become a general in the U.S. Army. She was appointed the chief of the Army Nurse Corps in 1979. Johnson held a doctorate in education administration from Catholic University in 1978 and had honorary degrees from Morgan State University, Villanova University, and the University of Maryland. She first became interested in nursing while growing up on a farm in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Her career began when she received her nursing degree from the Harlem Hospital in New York City, New York State, in 1950. She then attended Villanova University, where she received her bachelor's and soon afterwards joined the Army Nurse Corps in 1955. So kudos to the first African American Army general. Her name again is Hazel Winifred Johnson-Brown, who sadly passed on this day in 2011. She was also a nurse. Next, last but not least, is this man here. His name is Dr. Tulinabo S Mushingi. Was born on this day in 1957, was the U.S. ambassador to the West African nation of Burkina Faso. After nomination by President Barack Obama and his confirmation by the U.S. Senate, Mushingi arrived in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, and began serving as ambassador on the 5th of August 2013. He is a career officer of the Senior Foreign Service and the first African-born naturalized U.S. citizen to return to the continent as a U.S. ambassador. That's absolutely fascinating. Born on this day in 1957 in what was then the Belgian Congo, Mushingi earned a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Master of Arts degree from the Institut Supérieur Pédagogique in Bukavu, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Soon after, he moved to the United States and earned an MA degree from Howard University in Washington, D.C. He continued his studies at Georgetown University and received a PhD in linguistics in 1989. His dissertation was titled Vehicular Languages as Media of Instruction: The Case of Swahili in Zaire. Mushingi began his career as a language and cultural trainer for the Peace Corps, working successively in Papua New Guinea, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Niger, and the Central African Republic. He joined the U.S. Foreign Service in 1993 and served in various roles: General Services Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Maputo, Mozambique from 1994 to 1996, Counseling and Assignment Officer in the U.S. State Department Bureau of Human Resources in Washington, D.C. from 1999 to 2001, and Management Officer at the U.S. Consulate in Casablanca, Morocco from 2001 to 2003. That is a massive CV. So that is Dr. Tulinabo S Mushingi, who was born on the 5th of August 1957, former U.S. ambassador to the West African nation of Burkina Faso. On that note, folks, we've come to the end of today's Today in History for the 5th of August. Thanks for dropping by to our channel. If you are here for the first time and you like what we're doing, do like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so that you receive updates of our video uploads. For those of you who are returning, if you do like what we're sharing here, subscribe, like, share, turn on your notification bell as well so that you get notified whenever we drop a video. That would be very, very much appreciated. Thanks for dropping by. See you again tomorrow, August 6th. Bye-bye.